So there are 3 or 4 different ways of designing a collection. But ultimate thing is there's inspiration, there's a design direction, there's a newness which requires everything to be done. So
I'm very excited for this masterclass on design process because today we have an Indian fashion designer who is termed as national treasure by a famous French journalist, Suzy Menkes. Now, he is the only Indian designer who can be termed formally as a haute couture because there is nobody else in India who can use that term. And again, at a very young age, this designer was able to create a very successful international brand for himself. A designer from NIT who further did his studies with Mirongani Institute in Italy on a full scholarship. And he was the first Indian to win International Woolmark Prize. With my experience of 20 years in fashion industry, I think he is one of those designers who has very profound understanding of design process. It's time to now venture out into his world of design and understanding what are the key elements of design that he thinks is the most important while doing a collection. What is the importance of inspiration for a fashion design?
I think inspiration is everything. Inspiration is what makes us what we are. And in designer's life, inspiration is even more important because when you get inspired, you are able to create something new. And inspiration doesn't necessarily need to come from fashion. Inspiration can come from music, from traveling. If you're sensitive enough, there are multiple things to inspire you. And a design process starts with inspiration. From inspiration, you discover the mood you want to represent, and that is where you create mood board, and that is where the entire flow of the collection starts. So inspiration is almost like origin of a new idea.
So I wanted to know, is inspiration and this whole design process appropriate for a fast fashion company?
Designing against tight deadlines for fast fashion, I really feel inspiration is really important over there. Like client gives you a brief that you have to create this kind of clothing, but there's always a sense of surprise which you can create. This sense of surprise all of us love when we go and shop things, when we go and buy things. Everybody wants the newness, even if they are spending 10 rupees for something. So I really feel inspiration is, or a concept is like a soul for everything what you create. You cannot create anything original, you cannot create anything new without getting a right kind of inspiration. And without communicating a right kind of mood. And that is what makes this industry works. That is what makes all of us get excited about life every day when we come and work.
Rahul, can you throw some light on the importance of colors when you're doing a design process?
Colors communicate immensely with all of us. Like when we see colors around us, it is always great. With the kind of communication it does. Sometimes it's great to have absence of color also. So color, form, print, texture, when you have everything put together and everything is directional, whether you are doing for a fast fashion or you are doing a costume design or you're creating a couture outfit or you're creating a uniform which is completely functional, I think putting together all these elements in a right proportion for the right purpose is extremely important. So the process remains the same, whatever you do. First is to get inspired from day-to-day things, then create a mood, create an idea, then create a focus in the idea. so that the entire soul is around all the garments which you're presenting in a range, and they are kind of nicely bound together. As a designer, it's challenge for a fast fashion brand to keep designing new collection every season after season. This inspiration, this mood differs from one collection to another collection. This application of color is going to be a quite differentiator in terms of what is new which you're doing.
Tell me, Rahul, for a fashion design student, is it important to research about client and market?
It works in both the ways. One way is how typically designers work. They look at clothing as a kind of expression of the inspiration. What they inspired, they try to express themselves, they create a piece of clothing, they create a collection. On other way, there's also one way of designing how I did my first project, first collection with Kerala Handloom Textile. Tourists were my client who were visiting over there. So that is a reversible, the newness of the idea, Kerala fabric came into play, which was very culturally inspired clothing for tourists. So design can be looked upon from various perspectives. One perspective where origin can happen for client, then comes right kind of inspiration, which you are bound to get inspired when you do enough research. You are going to stumble upon those really things which are going to be very close to your heart. Or sometimes it can be a requirement of craft, or craft inspiring. Or sometimes inspiration starts from your very personal idea, which you put together in a create outfit. So there are 3 or 4 different ways of designing a collection. But ultimate thing is, there's inspiration, there's a design direction, there's a newness which requires everything to be done. So whether your client comes first or your inspiration comes first, it doesn't matter. It's the right approach of design which matters the most.
Thank you so much, Rahul, for sharing those important insights with fashion design students. And you have inspired so many young designers to still have faith in fashion design career. And I wish you all the very best. And thanks for collaborating. So by this masterclass, you must have got some clarity about design process. And if you want to learn more about design processes, you can always attend the online design process classes that I take. And to get the schedule, you can always write me up at gauravmandaldesign@gmail.com. So all the best, and we'll meet again.